Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to Saeed TV. We out here, man. It's just a madness. It's hot right now. It's hot. We got
It's
the
hot.
little, you know what I mean. We got it. We're cooling off right now. We're cooling off, man. It's been a good day. You know what I'm saying? To can't complain. But big up to Moosa. Joe
What's
back
going
down
on?
Birmingham. Do your business and that. What are you telling me?
Yeah. Busy day, man, on the outreach today, supporting some homeless people, refugees, giving out some shoes. It was an early start. Traffic, got back in time, man. Had to make this one, man.
Come on, man. You know what it is, man. You know what it is, people. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. You know what to do. You know what I'm saying to you, but we're gonna go straight into it, man. No messing around right now.
That's
Donny
it.
van der Beek, man. It's all kicking off right now. His agent came out on I think it was on the Monday, I think it was, or maybe on the weekend. He came out
Mm.
saying that they had words. I don't know if you've seen the actual interview with the agent first.
No, I didn't see the one with the agent. I only saw one with Donny. I read what the agent said, but I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
see the
yeah.
actual interview.
Yeah, exactly, man. Big up, man. I think the agent, what he said though, was almost like a starting point, innit? You just knew Donny had to come out, innit? You just knew it,
So
man.
he knew.
You know what I'm saying? And obviously the interview came out of nowhere. Obviously, before it happened, we shocked by the fact that he made an interview because United don't do that, you know. Like I've tried many times, you know, to even like get a word out of, or I've been close, and the next thing you know, they find out that the media team are not letting them speak, or you got to go for the media team or whatnot, and the press team. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a mad thing, but to get an interview, even though it's Rio Ferdinand, it don't matter. It's on a YouTube channel. They don't like YouTube. They don't like it because things get cut
Yeah.
out of context, innit?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out because I'm trying to think to myself, did Rio get the heads up? Did he? Because obviously Rio's got one foot in, one foot out. He's got one foot with the man them, one foot in the corporate world where he's on
Yeah,
BT, he's on the
yeah.
big channels. You know, he's on the Man United. He's also on the Man United YouTube channel. And he also gets
Yeah.
interviews.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
He's everywhere. Yeah, so I'm thinking he's one foot in, one foot out. Then when I heard Donny talk, I was like, right, this is going to be peak. But then when I saw what's really getting brought out into the media from like Sky Sports and the clips they've chosen to take, it's kind of
Yeah.
making Ollie look good. And that's like,
Wow.
so, do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, because what they've chosen to take, it's
Yeah.
all about trusting in the manager, trusting in the pros. It's making
Of
Ollie
course.
sound like he's the man to trust in.
Yeah.
But there was more to it. I read more. Do you know what I mean? I read more into what Donny was saying, and
Mm.
obviously we're gonna get into it. But yeah, man. So for me, I'm a bit like,
Mm.
is Man United playing the clever game? Because they're thinking everyone's putting pressure on Ollie about Donny. If you lot hear
Yeah.
it from Donny's mouth and Donny saying, "Boy, I believe in the process," then you man allow me.
Mm. Yeah, it's true. It's
So
true. I think even you know what's kind of surprised me is that I've seen people say, "Well, is Donny even that good enough in it?" You feel me? Like if he gets to that point, then it's peak, you know, because you don't want to kind of like people to cloud their judgment. I know you can back Joe, but you can also back, you know, what I'm saying to
I
you,
think it's
a
cloud. I
guy.
think it is. Yeah. I think there is a cloudment of judgment, but I think listening to Donny van der Beek's journey into
Mm.
football, and he's rode through the academy at Ajax, and you know what he's learned on the way
Yeah,
up. It let me realize that we're dealing with a serious caliber of footballer here. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Someone who also believes himself, and also
facts.
just listening to the players who he rates. You know, there was a part when he spoke about rating Schneider and Modric.
Yeah. Real
So you get,
ballers.
yeah, real ballers, especially Modric, because Modric wasn't a
Yeah,
10 like that. Do you know what I mean?
exactly.
He wasn't a 10, so he was someone who
Mm.
also used to get a tackle in. And I saw it. When he said Modric, I was like, okay, I see it. I
Yeah,
see it. So for me,
yeah,
and even the fact that he was telling us that he come into this game as a six, I was like,
yeah.
boy,
He
what's the
came in.
people gonna, yeah.
You know what I'm
I was
saying?
like,
He goes here. When I was 16, I was rated number six. I played number six. I never go deep at anything. Then I get a new coach. He said, Donny, you make a lot of goals. I want you to go higher at pitch. So when people say, well, he can't play as a 6 and he can't do this and can't do that, he's laying it bare. And you know what I mean? And he starts off by saying, he goes, yo, listen, man was a 6. You know, when everyone says to you, what's your position, you always stick to, everyone says it, innit? Nah, I'm a midfielder. Nah, I ain't playing up front, but I'm a midfielder. By trade, I'm a midfielder.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like I had to go back the other day and say to myself, because like what you just said there, believing in the perception that Donny weren't about this life. And I had to say to myself, hold on, why did we buy Donny van der Beek again? Let me go back and watch some of these games for Ajax. Let me go and watch some of these seasons. And the first thing I spotted was, man wore number 6.
Yeah, I know.
Man actually wore. Yeah. Man wore number 6. Then I saw the games that he played for Ajax in a 6. And I was thinking, if we're talking about Neves, we're talking about the carrot type of 6 that we won. I said, hold on, Donny can really play this position.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he can really play it. And as a tactical manager, you get something else out of playing Donny in that position. You say to yourself, cool.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing that Pep does. Pep says, you lot are going to take the ball off us. You lot might even score a goal. But when you take the ball off us, we're going to get it back in the first 3 to 4 seconds. We're going to hound you and get that ball back off us. And when we do get it back, the caliber of players that we got like Donny and Pogba and Bruno, when we do get that ball back off you, we're going to hurt you within a 1 or 2 pass. No more than 1 or 2 passes. And we're going to hurt you.
And we've got a player there. You know what I mean?
We got it.
Ariel Tachi is big up to him, Bill. He goes, most people think you have to be physical or be a destroyer to play that 6. And that's the reality. You know, Donny needs to be playing a different magic. He can't be a low 6, but in that pivot, he can share that defensive load. Absolutely, man. And you know what the thing is, man? He's come out here and he said, yo, every player has his improvements. You can only improve every day. It's no way to be angry. It's not also helping the team. I think you need to be positive and try to help them. You know what I mean? You might want to help Fred and McTominay and them, man. You feel me? Like them, man, that are struggling to pass. I think if you played more with Fred, someone like a Fred who has them abilities, to go and kind of energetic, you know what I mean, and can be that kind of almost destroyer. You know what I mean? You could have that player in Donny van der Beek who could give him other attributes, you feel me? Like you can make it work. But the problem is we've not seen it enough.
Yeah, the problem is I just don't know what's going on with the coaching because, again, you know, I think you have a box-to-box midfielder in Paul Pogba. The brother's got an engine. He's got touch. He's got skill. He's an athlete. He's got everything. But Paul Pogba didn't come to Man United as a finished article. So any world-class manager, what they do with Paul is they add more to his game. They add that bit extra. You know, they bring it on. So we say, Paul, you know we can do that. But this is why I love Pep because and Klopp because they add that tenacity, that hunger to get the ball back, that willing to press. And since we've had all these managers, except for Van Gaal, Man United never press as a team. We don't press in units.
No, we don't.
So where are we going with that? Because all of these teams that we big up, even when you look at Chelsea now, these men are pressing. Kante's not a 6 no more. He's an 8, but he comes back and supports.
Yeah,
you know
and that's why he said it. That's why he said it. He goes in it, and obviously we'll talk about. He goes, I can play a 6 and an 8 in this team because that's the only ones that are available right now. He goes here. I want to be part of the team now. I want to be important to the team. He's not messing around anymore. He's saying, young man, forget all this talk of let me work my way into the team. I want to be part of this team right now. You know what I mean? I know I'm better than the guys in front of me. He knows.
100%.
For me, when you look at him, right, after Paul Pogba, the naturally most gifted midfielder, you probably argue would be Donny in terms of his all-round game. You know what I mean? It's a complete midfielder. You know
He's a complete midfielder.
Yeah.
Donny's talking about Ajax when they're coming through the academy where they're doing specific training where he's saying, boy, if man's weak on his left foot, that's why they're giving him extra training on the left foot, extra training on the right foot. Donny's comfortable in that middle of the park. And for me, I think Donny can do that. That's why Donny plays at Liverpool. He can do the Alonso stuff. That's why Rafa Benitez wants Donny.
Yeah.
Rafa Benitez wants an Alonso in his team. That's why
I
he
know he
wants
does.
Donny. He
That's why he
wants a
wants
man.
Donny, exactly.
Of course,
He's
that's why
that,
he
that
wants
how he
Donny.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he knows what's going on. He knows if I can get a ball playing midfielder who's got tenacity and can also tackle, but can spread long balls, we're in the game. And this is why I say that there's been
yeah,
lots of number sixes in the past that's done that in the past. I'm saying if you don't want to play Donny in a pivot on his own, then you can support him with Paul because he's got the tenacity and the energy and the sense of low gravity, and he's also press resistant. Then he can help.
yeah,
They can help each other to move forward. But you have to also understand that it's going to be It's a different tactical play. When you play players like Paul and Donny in the middle of the park, and you also set out your standards in terms of what you want. You also have to understand that you're going to win the game by scoring more goals, and
yeah,
also saying to yourself, "Go on, Varane, go on, Maguire. What are you saying? You know what I'm saying? When we need you, what you
yeah,
saying?" And De Gea, these men have to come on. You ain't got to have world class defenders and a world class goalkeeper, and they're not
yeah,
going to they're not going to do their bit. It's like Man United scared to concede because they know the problem is we're scared to concede because we know we can't create enough chances to score
yeah.
goals. So we're just scared to concede, bro. And that's the problem I'm having right now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna read more quotes up about it goes here. He was really positive about me. Um, you need to give time to get your best shape. If you play once a month or anything, you cannot show your best. That's facts, man. You know what I mean? How can you
Facts.
show what you've got and you know your abilities you've got if you're playing once a month, bro? Like for a player of Donny van der Beek's quality, who's playing in the prime time, that's the problem with Ollie, man. Ollie's not put things into context of who is actually a baller in this team, yo. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to go by a name and understand what these guys have done. You know, this is
Play
a
your
guy
best
who's
ballers.
play your best
Play your
ballers, man.
best ballers, man. And this is why I always say to people, when we got ballers on the pitch, no matter what people say about one matter, when he's central and we've got ballers,
Yeah,
one matter looks different. He looks different. Every time I've seen him play with Donny and Bruno, he looks different because these men are ballers. This is what people
yeah,
don't understand. These men still get games. They'll get much more games. I'm not saying he starts, but in a pet team, Dan James would never have got more games than one matter. It's just impossible. People can
yeah,
say what they want, but then when people see the likes of Pep and managers like Pep and Klopp getting the best out of one matter, people start saying, well, it's a different system. But when he's at Man United, he's finished. He's dead. He can't do it no more. People talk about
yeah,
legs.
exactly.
Like, I don't get it. Like, why does one matter need legs? Ronaldo don't have the legs, but it's his football brain. Do you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
his capability. And this is why even Donny mentioned, one of his best players at United being one matter because it's his capability and the things that he can do on the ball, not a lot of people can. The things he can do in tight spaces, not a lot of people can. This is why these type of men are press resistant. But Ollie doesn't pick these men. And again, what you've just said there, if you don't get enough games and you get one game a month, you're not going to show your form.
yeah,
Ollie
exactly.
is in line to do to Sancho what he done to Donny. If Sancho
Yeah, yeah.
doesn't get his games in because Ollie
I
doesn't
know.
know how to rotate the
Use him.
team and
Yeah,
he chooses to put Greenwood in there, every time Sancho comes on, he's going to look scatty like he has been.
exactly. Exactly. That's the thing, man. You know what I mean? And that's the reality, mate. You know what I'm saying to you? It goes here. Um, yes, Solskjaer communicates well. I need to trust him. If he doesn't need me, I think he'll let me go. I think he has plans with me. I just need to work out and look hard, and I hope I can show people one day what I can do. That's mad, you know. Nobody knows what you can do. Like, not many people
That's
know
the
what
mind
Donny
games.
van der Beek.
That's the
Yeah,
mind games right there. You see that? That's the mind games. When he
the
says
man gets
that,
from Ollie.
now from Donny's mind games is that, Ollie, you're a good man. You're a man manager. You're an honest man. If you don't
Yeah,
play me, you don't need me, you're gonna let me go. So he's already put it out there
yeah,
now that Ollie's an honest man. But so now Ollie's like, all right, cool. He's in that position then. If I don't play you, then I'm gonna have
yeah,
to let you go. Whereas he wasn't trying to do that in the window gone. Because when Everton and that came calling, he was like, no, I need you. I want you to be a part of the team. So Donny's like saying, okay, there's a window in about 3 months. Let's see what you're saying in January. Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see what you're saying in January because there's a window in 3 months. Yeah. Let's see then. You said that you want to keep me. I'm a part of your team. If January comes and I'm not being consistent, I'm not playing, that means you don't need me. And if you don't need me, Ollie, you said you'll let me go. That's what's going to be the talk in January.
Yeah.
So,
no,
Ollie,
100%.
So that's our mind games from. I think that's the mind games from the agent and Donny, because come January, if Donny hasn't started a game yet in the Prem and he hasn't had a run in, he's off, bruv.
Yeah, he's off. He is off. You know what I mean?
And we're gonna see. We will end up seeing him with Rafa putting in the shift, and everyone's gonna go mad. Oh, we need a centre midfield. Oh, we needed a. Yeah, right.
I think it was the feeling was when it was mentioned about Everton and Everton coming in for him, and Ollie said, "No, I need you." Like for me, when I look at that, man, for me, it's a bit selfish, isn't it? I know we need him, and I know United need him, but at the end of the day, bro, you know what I'm saying to you, like you got to think about the man's career in it, and you got to be. But then again, does Ollie have that same attachment when in reality he was always a sub player, wasn't it? You know what I mean? He maybe never had that value of what people need me in it. So maybe his man's getting his game time.
100%. And my thing is, I worry about. I prefer Donny went on loan anyway if he left, because I'm hoping that these type of players outlast Ollie. That's my hope, because I'm still Ollie out. I'm Ollie out.
That's what he felt. That's what he felt from the interview, though. That's what he was saying about kind of like helping the team, and in your back of your mind, that someone's not good enough, but in the day you're like, you know what, man, let's stick in, guys. You know what I mean? The good days will come. There's light at the end of the tunnel. That's what he's thinking.
Because if Ollie and these man, Michael Carrick, Ollie and these man think they're gonna just come all of a sudden and go against the grain, against all these managers that's been putting in a shift, and they're gonna topple them in Europe, topple them in the league, they got another thing coming. Yeah. And the first thing Ollie done, he still hasn't surrounded himself with a world-class coach who's been in a game, doing his thing as a number 2, who can come in, well-known, well-respected, and command a level of football that everybody will be like, whoa, this is serious. He hasn't done that. So that's on him. Like I'm saying, come January, if we're not there or thereabouts, and people like Donny are leaving, Paul Pogba hasn't signed a contract, Bruno Fernandes is in negotiation with his new contract. Nothing's been signed there. We could be looking at a whole different story of, we could it can come January and we hear Real Madrid's trying to tap up Bruno. Why wouldn't Madrid want Bruno, bro?
Yeah.
Or Barcelona?
Yeah. Yeah, Barcelona.
And why wouldn't Bruno, as a Portuguese, go
on? I think Barcelona could afford him anyway, but I get your point, though.
But that's what I'm saying. But this is what we always hear all the time, that these men can't afford nothing. But the thing is, in football, a year is a long time, bro, people. A year is a long time. And as much as people be like, they ain't got money, just the other day, they were like, Real Madrid can't afford no one. Now they're putting in £200 million bids for flipping Mbappe. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So for me, I don't know about that. A year is a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was telling the people, Saeed, a year is a long time, because everyone said Madrid didn't have money. Where did they get 200 million from?
Yeah, that's true.
A year is a long time in football. A year is a long time in football, bro.
There's a lot of dodgy envelopes as well. What do you make of this, bro? When Donny van der Beek, he goes, or whether he can play as a number 6, he goes, yes, I like to play 8 or 6, it's fine. They know me because in Ajax I was playing the number 10 a lot, but yeah, I can also play as number 8 or number 6. And did you see the point where he mentioned about, in this team, maybe I can't play in the number 10 role because of what the club is trying to do. That was a kind of a telling moment, because he was almost saying that Bruno plays that advanced, the way we play football, I can't play as a number 10. I can't do my style as a 10. So he was like, the only option I've got is an 8 or a 6. But even then, the manager don't see me.
No, because I was reading also what Van Basten was saying about this, because he was saying, because I saw the headline, Van Basten says that Donny's not good enough to play for Man United. So I'm like, what's all this about? Yeah. Then he's just talking about, the way Man United play and the way you play a number 10 in like Holland is totally kind of different to how they play it here.
I get what he means then, in terms of maybe it's not the right fit for United. I think everyone knows that.
It is, because
that's down to the manager, though. That we shouldn't have to suffer.
No way. It's down to the manager, and that's why he said that. Donny was saying that the way Man United play, I'm more suited for the 6 or the 8. I'm just more suited. In other teams and other systems, I can get away with a 10. But the way this system is, and not everyone's pressing together, and you're left alone. Nah, brother, I can't play that 10 here. Nah, because you man are not working as a unit. You're just gonna leave me out there isolated, making me have to do everything. That's not gonna work. But in this system, cool, 6 or 10. And again, for me, it just says to me, Ollie's a bit old school. He wants a tall man. Then he puts Fred in there for Allah knows best why Fred goes in there. Because he's Allah Alam, because he's short. He's short like Donny. Like he runs around. If it was just Tool McTominay in there and he wanted 2 players, I'll get it. But when I see Fred, Allah Alam.
No, but it's true though, because you don't know what he wants from Fred. It's almost if he puts him in there and he says, "Yo, we hope and pray that he has a good game." There's no kind of like commandments from him. You know what I mean? It's kind of like just, you know what, you go.
But you know what's mad though?
You be that.
You remember? You know what's mad? You remember when Ollie used to treat Fred like he treated Donny?
Yeah, of course, I know.
Remember when we used to say, "Rah, why can't Fred get a game?" Who did he used to put in there? He used to put McTominay and Matic, I think.
Yeah,
and it wasn't working.
And Fred couldn't get a game. Yeah, I know.
He couldn't get a game, and everyone was like, "Fred, put Fred on. Why can't Fred a game?" So I'm just thinking, can't Ollie just do the same thing with Bruno? I mean, with Donny now, and just throw him in?
The problem with Donny is that I think he's an intelligent footballer. I'm not saying that Fred isn't, but Donny can play. For me, if you put Donny in every team in the world right now, in terms of the most top clubs, he would improve their team.
Of course,
when you look at it now, there's not an array of talents in midfield right now that he wouldn't get into. I think the midfielders right now, a lot of the midfielders in world football right now, apart from maybe, let's say, Modric and Kroos and maybe De Jong.
And they're old school, man. They're out of the game.
Yeah, they're old school midfielders. You know, and he fits that old school midfielder kind of type. Right now,
but listen, mark my words. If Ollie doesn't pull his weight up, I can see this Coleman, he's bringing in the Dutch players. He will take Donny and play him with De Jong in that flipping Barcelona midfield, and they will crack on. They will crack right on with the pie and them man there, and he'll try to draw for De Ligt and all of that from Juve. Yeah. They will crack right on. Crack right on, because Ajax is also with the money problem that Barcelona find themselves in. Ajax is an ideal feeder club for them, and I think if they were clever, they would keep him on. But it's an ideal feeder club for
Barcelona. Fabrizio's talking about it as well on his podcast today. Fabrizio Romano, here we go. He goes, on deadline day, we're more than close to signing for the Beek. Had agreement with the player. This is agreement with the player, by the way. So Donny Van de Beek wanted to leave. They agreed with the player. They had a project to make him a starter, to give him some game time. They were prepared to sign Donny Van de Beek on loan. Van de Beek is not happy because he was not playing in the first 3 matches. He never got a single minute. By the way, he talked about that, by the way. He hasn't had a single minute.
So who was that? He said, was that Everton? Was that Everton that had an agreement with him?
Yeah, Everton had an agreement with him. So Everton had an agreement with him. And then he said, further along, he goes, he is not happy because he's not playing the first 3 matches. He hasn't had a single minute. He wants to understand what's going on. And so with Everton prepared to sign him, it was a big chance for him. He goes, they wanted him to stay, but Everton were really close. Benitez wanted him. The whole board wanted him. So it's more than an idea. It was a done deal between Everton and Donny Van de Beek. But Manchester United said no. This is why me, it's crazy, man.
I think this is telling then. I think then this is Donny saying, play me or I'm off in January. I'm going Everton.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's why he did the interview. Who sees this kind of interview happen? Not rare. This is rare. I've never seen someone who's not had game time come out on a podcast.
And you know why he says this? And why he says this is because if he goes to Everton and pulls up trees, he's going to the World Cup. He can't even get into his national team. So right now he's thinking he needs to be on that plane to the World Cup. And the only way he can do that is and the only way he can be on that plane to the World Cup is to have at least a good end of the season with a team. And he's seen what flipping Lingard's done. He's seen how Lingard wasn't playing when he pulled up trees at West Ham. So Yeah,
Yeah.
100%, man. I can see this happening. Then, for me, then this is more make or break for Ollie as well. Play Donny or lose
Yeah,
him
of
in
course.
January,
Or lose
because
him
you
in
can't tell
January
him in
then.
January that you need him. You can't be like, "Oh, Donny, I need you. You're gonna play. You're gonna play." Allow it, bro. It's been
No.
4 months.
Do you reckon he'll ever get like 5 games in a row? Because he wants game time. Do you reckon he'll ever get 5 games in a row? Do you ever see McTominay getting benched for 5 games in a row? Or Fred
My
getting
thing is
benched for
this:
5 games in a row?
with how bad Fred and McTominay are to me, if you don't get 5 games in a row now, you'll never get them. Because to me, they're not playing well.
Yeah, I know they're not playing well.
They're not playing well. Like if McTominay or Fred was benched tomorrow for Donny van der Beek, who would complain? That
Nobody,
says it
nobody,
all. Nobody.
nobody.
But that's what I'm saying. But if you look at McTominay as an academy player, he's similar in the
Yeah,
situation with Greenwood. But the difference is with Greenwood, he's actually got someone who plays on the right who was a fan favorite in Jadon Sancho. But even if
yeah,
but because Greenwood's been playing so well, if he got benched, you might have a 50-50. People might start saying,
yeah,
"Boy, what are you doing? Why are you benching?" So it shows that these men are not playing well because no one won't even back them. No one won't even come out and be like, "Oh, McTominay's got
yeah.
to start over Donny. He's got what? Okay, McTominay's got to start over Donny. Why? What are the attributes?
Mm.
You know, there's
You know
always an
what?
attribute.
Yeah, man. I'm just reading this quote again, man. Again, because he says here, Donny van der Beek goes on his best position, right? He goes, it's difficult to say because it depends on how you play as a team. So what is he trying to say? That he doesn't know how we play as a team? You know what I mean? Is he trying to say, that he doesn't know our best style? So at the minute, I think the way we play, the best position for me is a 6 or an 8. I don't think he's trying to say that Bruno's better than him. He's just trying to say that the way the number 10 operates isn't really 10 in this team. Some of the way they're
No, no, no. Donny,
bombasted.
it's not. It's not really a 10. It's like a supportive striker. It's not really a
Yeah,
10.
it's a CF. It's a
Yeah,
CF.
CF. Yeah, your support is just. So for me, it's not the same. So for me, it's different. It's not the classical number 10 as they know it over there in Holland. So I think that, yeah, I don't think it would
Yeah.
work. And I think all
It's
the good
exposing the
games,
coaching, though. It's exposing the coaching
of
in
course it
terms of,
is. And
what I mean? He's trying to
100%.
say, if he's been brought as a 10, right? And the whole fan base is thinking, oh, we've got an option as a 10, right? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thinks he's a number 10, so he's brought him. You know what I mean? That just shows you the kind of scouting or the kind of level of footballing knowledge our team have of identifying players. We already had Bruno.
Yeah, but my thing is like, come on, man. Like, even if you don't know much about Donny van der Beek and you see him playing for Ajax and he's playing in a number 10
Yeah.
position with the big number 6 on his back, you got to ask yourself, why has this geezer got number 6 on his back, though? Where's all that? What's all that about? How many
Yeah,
number 10s have you seen playing with 6 on their back?
I know.
How many? That's the first inclination. Like, okay, let me do a bit of looking into this. What's all this about? Oh, okay. So he started his career as a 6. He's very comfortable playing as a 6. He
Yeah,
knows the role as a 6. He knows all about it. He's even more comfortable as an 8, as a supportive midfielder who goes up, arrives late in the box. Can do a 10 if the 10 is not a supporting striker and he's not just like left out there on his own. All right, cool.
yeah,
I know what we got here. We can play him in the middle of the park. For me, anyway, I've said it a long time ago. My midfield is Bruno. I play 2 8s, and I still play Donny as a 6 on his own. But when people hear 6 on their own, they go on
yeah,
like this 6 is left to it. Like no one supports him. There
yeah,
isn't a
yeah.
system of
We can play
play.
as a free, though. We can play as a free if we
Of
wanted
course, you
to.
can play as a free. This is
We
what
can play as
Pep
a free.
Guardiola does, bro.
Pep Guardiola does it, yeah. As a
You can
free.
play as a free. This is what I'm trying to say. People going like you're just left there on your own.
But
And
the problem is, though, it's about how you play as a team, though, and that's the coaching
that's
style.
it. It's all about the coach's style
If
and
you
how
keep
you
the
play the
ball,
team.
the free can work. But if you keep the ball, one is all running down this way to Tesco, and then you got the other two running down this way to Asda. You know what I mean? They're gonna work, mate. You know what I mean?
No,
It's
not at
total
all.
different operations. That's the thing.
So,
And when this comment here is a kind of a worry for me, because I feel like this comment for me just kind of like points to point where Ollie has no clue as to what Donny is. That's what I've always said from day one. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can't coach Donny to what he wants to do, so he doesn't use them. He can coach Fred McTominay to run around and say, yo, you man, buzz around, havoc, cause havoc, innit? You get me? Cause havoc, mate. Because he's saying here, yeah, I feel like I can play as a deep-lying playmaker. But of course, I don't know what the manager thinks and what he expects from me. Because I've played in this role before in Ajax. I think I can play in this role as well. What do you make of that comment there? That's a damning comment, you know, when you look at it. My man is saying, I'm good enough as a deep-lying playmaker, but Ollie's saying, I don't know what Ollie wants from me. You know what I mean? What can I do more than what Fred and McTominay are doing? That man are not even doing the basics. I can do better, Moosa. He's saying
100%. Yeah, he's saying that. He can do the basics. And this is an indictment on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And again, and I think we've said it a lot of times on this channel. And I think like people end up thinking that we're just hating on Ollie this, Ollie that, and it's got to second.
Man, but the midfield is a problem, and Ollie don't want to fix it. It's on him, man. It's on him.
And he has the players. Once again, he has the players. The players are there. We know. Yeah. Ollie, I don't know, man. It's a problem, man. And even that, I saw, like, even in the interview, he spoke about staying on and doing extra training with Michael Carrick. And I was thinking, so Carrick is, and he was saying Carrick was a great midfielder. He played in that position. I do a lot of training with Carrick. He's a great coach, and I also do extra work. So if you're working with Carrick, Carrick can see what you got. What's Carrick doing, bro? Isn't he not talking to Ollie, bro?
But Carrick's a yes, man. He's going to be like, yeah, I just seen Donny, you know, sprayed a few passes here and there. Nothing special, but, you know, I was probably better than him back in my day. You know, that.
And they can see on the training. I can see, and I know they can see it because Donny's on them winning teams. He's with the ballers. I know it. I just don't know what. I just feel like match day comes. You know what Ollie's problem is? Donny van der Beek is in Ollie's starting 11 every time until Ollie looks at the opposition and he panics again and he says, no.
Yeah, of course.
That's all it is. He comes off training like, yeah, Donny, right? You're playing.
The thing is, right, does he think that Donny van der Beek, his physicality isn't suited to the Premier? I think Ollie is almost like a Brexit manager. You know what I mean? He's been here since he was a kid. For me, I class him as a Brexit because at the end of the day, he has kind of like Route 1 football kind of mentality. You know what I mean? He's not really kind of fancy player who believes in a philosophy or believes in an idea. There's none of that, you get me? My thing is, right, he probably thinks, right, if I get outplayed in that midfield, I've lost the game. But you got to realize sometimes in midfield, you're going to have opposition and they might break through the lines. But when he gets a ball, he'll make it count, though. They might do a pass, but then they get on the end of it and they don't make anything happen. He will make a pass when it's right to feet. Mason Greenwood will then score or will then get there.
The worst thing.
You get what I'm trying to say?
100%. But the worst thing about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer himself was a super sub. It's shocking. Yeah, he was also a foreigner in the country, a super sub. You know, came from abroad, got a lot of game time coming off the bench, got a lot of game time playing in the season. For him to treat other people like he doesn't know how it is shocking. And on top of that, I'm just happy Ronaldo's here, to be honest. You know why? Because Ollie's going to get found out.
Well, he is. You know what I mean?
Because if the fans have to boo Ronaldo or boo Ollie, they're going to boo Ollie. Ollie's going to get found out. They're not going to be blaming Ronnie for the situation that we're in.
With the Ronaldo thing, it's kind of almost a dangerous one as well because, you know, we're going to have to now, we're just playing through Ronaldo now. I think that's what's going to be the case. And I think that's what, you know, Ollie's thinking. If I can get the ball to Ronaldo, who'll score me the goals? If I can get the ball to Ronaldo, yes,
but we're not going to get the ball because that's the same with Cavani. If you can get Cavani the ball, he'll score the goals. But the reality is, our midfield can't get a ball. So Ronnie's going to come deep. This player comes deep. Bruno comes deep. We can't get the ball. That's it. Yeah. We can't get the ball. Ronaldo hasn't come to Man United to beat flipping Newcastle and to beat Southampton. He's come to beat City and Chelsea and Liverpool. He's come to win those games. He's not going to be happy going to Liverpool and moving moist.
Yeah, exactly. You know, my thing is here. By the way, Norwegian Mr. someone tell me what feeling does. This guy's a living fraud. He doesn't get. Yeah, I've said, man, but he's always in Sports Direct, man. He's always buying shorts, man. That's all he does. I see Darren Fletcher in training today. And what kind of technical director is training with the first teamers, man? What's this Mates FC? Someone just telling you, yo, man, them come to the park, innit? We got a football game on. Yo, man.
Man like Phelan needs to thank Allah every day. Man like Phelan needs to be praying Fajr every morning and thank Allah for giving him that position, bro. Because these men here, they don't deserve to be in these positions, mate. I don't know how man like Phelan is where he is. He needs to thank God every morning. He wakes up and says, boy, I don't know how I'm in this position. You know, they say, man, he's like Jones. Them man, they need to make sajda every morning, bro. Because I don't know how they're getting that type of money.
But like
Jones is ready to he's ready to injure Ronaldo. That's what he's gonna do in training.
You know what, man? It's just, you know what I mean? Like it says here, it's difficult to really say his possession because exactly. What's that one?
It says feeling was Fergie's chewing gum plug.
That's what I'm saying, man. It was his chewing gum plug, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing about it. And then you got the other comments as well. I don't know if you've seen the guy with the Ajax guy, but that was a kind of a telling one for me. Like, if this was a kind of a reaction, I think the Ajax one was even worse, man. Because for me, when you look at it, right, he kind of almost was like, yo, man, I don't think Donny's gonna play in his natural position now. It's become a problem now. Ronaldo. Who thinks of that straight away? I know he's got the best interest in Ronaldo, in Donny, but my man goes, Ronaldo coming was the worst possible news for us. You get me? He goes here. Donny joined Man United with expectations. Donny Solskjaer told him that he would play in another system. This is last season, by the way, I'm thinking. So you know when last season we had Donny van Beek, right? He was meant to come in, and I reckon they were meant to play this 4-3-3, right? Expansive football. Remember that game when we lost to 6-1?
Yeah,
so in the 5 games, it went wrong. He goes, and at the end of the season, we come to the conclusion that we barely played. We thought about what happened next year. Then in the summer, Donny was told he was not allowed to leave. Then Cristiano Ronaldo came on Friday, and it was bad news for us. Pogba plays on the left. And with Cristiano Ronaldo being extra player midfield, with Pogba moving away from the left. So you almost got 2 troubles now. One, that Pogba's not going to play on the left anymore, which he's had 5 assists this season from. And now he's going to go back to double pivot, which for me, everyone knows that's not his best position in it because it kind of like exposes his weaknesses. And you don't want that in a player of Paul Pogba's ability, right? And then you got the fact that Donny van de Beek will now indefinitely not play. How about that? I'd rather say it right now. Indefinitely he won't play. And then he's saying here, right? He goes, then we rang the bell. We had a conversation with Solskjaer and we took the initiative to find a club and our search ended up at Everton. We took open court to Marcel Brands, Everton DOF, and Faraday Morsi. Donny talked with his father and his father-in-law. They agreed to take a step down his career, knowing that he could play every week. They don't have a 10 over there, and both James and Singers are having problems. The package was complete and everything was looking good. Then on Monday night, we received a call from Solskjaer and the club, who told us that the transfer was out of question and he had to report himself to training the next morning. So what's the perspective now? The perspective now is stating that Donny is not a Carabao Cup player or FA Cup player or to play in European games. Donny went to play to England to play Premier League. That's true. He can play Europa League in Ajax. He can play Champions League football before they get kicked out of the Champions League. You know what I mean? Like,
Ajax are going finals, babe. They go further than us.
That's what. Well, there you go then. You know what I'm trying to say?
Ajax are going further than us, bro. Them man are turning over Tottenham. There's man forget how Donny ran riot on Tottenham, bro.
Yeah. The thing is there, what do you make of that point there when he talks about, this shows you how much the agent has more of a clue of how we play, you know what I mean, rather than the manager. He knows that Pogba is going to come off the left now. He's going to play that double pivot. Then you've got probably Sancho on the left or whatever, and then you've got Rashford maybe.
He knows because he just knows that the way Solskjaer plays, he's afraid to put Pogba and Bruno in the middle. And Donny in the middle of the park. Because he knows if Donny could be the other guy next to Pogba, it'll be different. But what people don't understand, for Pogba and Donny to be able to play in the park, Bruno has to be sacrificed and be brought a bit further back. That's all. Bruno just can't be up there like a supporting striker, bro. He needs to come back and support. If what's the game? what's the name? My man at City, and Kevin De Bruyne comes further back. Yeah, Gundogan is further back. David Silva, Bernardo Silva comes further back, all to support Rodri and that. Who do we think we are, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who does Man United and our team think who are we?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? I think like, nah, bro. We need to understand the reality of where we are and what's going on out here. I think like, what makes us special, bro?
What makes us special? What makes the managers feel like he's special too?
Yeah, no, I don't get it. My thing is, yeah, like
he needs to know his place, man. You get me?
No, but this is why.
As a manager.
Nah, this is why. Until some of the best teams, let's look at the best teams in world football, yeah, and look at their midfields.
Yeah.
Who's this tall, massive, back breaking CDM? Who's that at Madrid?
Yeah.
Who's that at Barca?
Yeah, exactly.
Who is it? Who is this player that we want?
But they're built on technical football, though. They're built on technical football, on the ideology of how they play, rather than a personnel. Because personnel can come in easily. Personnel's come in and just they implement whatever the manager's philosophy is or whatever. You know?
This is what I'm trying to say. They come in. We're looking at all the big, like PSG. Who's that? What's PSG's midfield? They're still running around with Herrera, bro.
Yeah. And they play him sometimes, you know. They still.
This is what I'm saying. They play him. And again, when we look at Man United, how the heck does Kevin De Bruyne get benched for certain games and they play good again? How does that happen? So then they do it. So what's this Bruno can't get benched for certain games? What's this, Pogba can't get benched? What's this, like, how, when I look at Man City...
The problem is, though, if someone said to me Pogba was going off the bench, but then a certain player was coming on and he was doing better, if not kind of the same as what we're trying to do, and it's almost as if, you take out a player, but you don't really miss him. And you have a system in there that another player comes in like, systems. I don't know. Yeah, well, there you go then.
It's about systems, bro. Yeah, it's about systems. If you told me that Matic, Donny, and Pogba gave us a better midfield system if we got Bruno out, then I'll play it.
Yeah. Well,
because I know that in Matic holding, we've got ballers in Donny and Pogba.
Yeah.
So then we play it. Then if it's a next game where you need your midfielder to be a bit different from a Pogba or Donny, and we played, example, Donny, Bruno, and I don't know, someone else holding, then we do it.
For Ollie, though, it's about output, though, isn't it? He's probably thinking, Donny won't give me no output. I'll be real with you. That's what he probably thinks.
But he hasn't played Donny. How can you say Donny won't give man output? Did man see what Donny done in Champions League? Donny arrived late.
But then he's thinking that Bruno, every time he gets something, will score, but then he won't. He's not thinking about how the team will play better. Ricky always tells me this, and I always kind of like, maybe for Dan James, I don't really understand it, but other players, I'm like, yeah, okay. When you have a player like Donny van der Beek, the team might function better well.
Of course they do.
And I think that in itself, he might in itself, you'll see a spread of goals for everyone. I'm not saying that Bruno Fernandes is the all problem, by the way. I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is that maybe if you have players that are like-minded and they play in the system better, whatever the system is, I don't know what Ollie's system is, to be honest with you, quite frankly. But whatever it is, then maybe you might see a fluidity when we're playing. Because I'm for that, rather than individuals shelling it out. Listen, I couldn't care less. I support United. I don't support
Bruno. Listen, Bruno at Sporting played in a pivot. What's going on, bruv? Man think that Bruno at Sporting only played in a number 10 position. Bruno at Sporting used to tackle, get the ball, play. Bruno's an 8. Someone has to chat to Bruno. Bruno's an 8, an attacking 8. Bruno presses. Bruno puts a foot in. He gets about. You've seen him when he loses the ball. And he's a scoring 8. You see Lampard. Was Lampard a 10? Or an 8?
it was almost like a second strike. But the thing is, I think what
No,
Ollie's
he
kind of looking
arrived
at is,
late. But when you saw the
he
positions,
arrives
yeah,
late, yeah,
yeah. Look at all the
he
teams he
arrives late,
played
yeah,
in. Yeah, he played
yeah,
in 4-3-3s. So where
yeah,
was the 10?
4-3-3s. Yeah, I
Lampard
know. But
played in
then,
4-3-3. This is what people
yeah,
don't get. In a 4-3-3, you can still have a more forward-thinking 8, while the other one's more defensive. But they
yeah,
start in the same place. But one
yeah, of
goes
course.
that way, the other one goes the other way.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, facts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then they hold and they go. But man, the guy, no, when did like Lampard played his best football in Jose's 4-3-3s? What are we talking
yeah.
about? You know what I'm trying to
Drizzy
say? So
Dress.
for me, it's
Yeah.
mad. What's Drizzy
Yeah,
saying?
Drizzy Dress here says Ollie needs to play Donny on Saturday whether we win or lose. Otherwise, Donny issues becoming a big issue till January. Yeah, well, you even got Jesse Lingard saying that he's rejected a contract if he doesn't get game time. Everyone's taking their bite, man. Everyone's taking their bite. Yo, big up Devil in the details. He goes, Matic is passed as a holding player. Man United fans need to stop this system nonsense. He needs specialists. Absolutely need specialists. But the problem is, though, like when you look at the kind of the football kind of what we play as a football in sense, we don't know what people's specials are nowadays. I
Yeah,
still
but what
believe
people
Matic
forget,
can do a role. When
of
he
course,
says he's
Matic,
past it, though, I think Matic can do a role, but if
Matic,
he's
you know
running
why
back every
Matic?
time,
Yeah, do you know why he's past it, Saeed? He's past it because we don't have a system. Like my thing is this: when we press, we don't press as a team. So if you
no, we
think
don't.
Matic can do it without people having legs around him and a system that's going to support him when we lose the ball, then you've lost it. Nah, brother,
Yeah,
Matic can. Like, that's why if Matic went to Pep, he'll do a job for them in about 20 games in a season.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He'll do a good job over about 20 games in a season. But at Man United, he has one good game, two good games. They get excited. They leave him exploited in the middle of the park. He gets run ragged. Ah, Matic is past it. He can't do it. Bruv, how do we
yeah,
play? Ollie's been here for 4 years. Man
yeah.
United are playing counter attack of football. That's not like what style is
No,
that?
no. I think Devil in detail. I don't think that's what we're saying. My
Now
thing
we're
is
not
right. I
saying
think
that.
I think Matic is getting exposed more because of the lack of system. You know, when you
Yes.
look at it, because if he's having to do this, what he did with I don't know if you've seen this Devil in details, yeah, but my thing was when Fred lost the ball, yeah, in a position where he was getting pressed or whatever, Matic had to do that running back. And I'm thinking to myself, why is Ollie doing this? He knows that Fred is not press resistant. He knows Fred isn't the best on the ball and he can't spray the ball about and he's not comfortable in that area. But yeah, he's putting next to a Matic. I
Of
mean,
course.
why? Why do
This
that?
one.
Why not put players whose attributes follow each other or suit each other? Why not do that? That's
That's
my
it.
only opinion. And he
People
can
are
do
quick.
that though.
Yeah, people quick to say that this player's passed it. This passed it where and how? Who is Man United? Where are we? Like, what are we doing now? Like, past it for like. My thing is this: what you're saying, because of the lack of
Yeah.
system, it
But look at
exploits
Tuchel
the
though. Look at
players.
Tuchel. Look at
This is what I'm trying
Tuchel,
to
man.
say. See
Frank
what Tuchel
Lampard.
does.
Yeah.
He comes in, he sees where certain players are exploited, he sees where certain players are not doing well, he realizes that his defense is not the best. Look what he does. He puts three at the back, changes the whole system. All of a sudden, the people that were looking scatty are not looking
Yeah.
scatty no more.
Yeah. I think you know, in terms of matches for me, would he be my first choice player? Probably not. I've always said he's a squad player. But
Here's a
again,
squad. I want
though,
him out.
it's what
I
we
want
can
him
work
out.
with.
If it's up to
Yeah, but
me,
the
I'll
thing
sell
is,
Matic. I sell
the
him.
thing is, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it's what you got to work with. You know what I mean? If we're not buying a midfielder and he's not selling anything, you know what I mean? I've got to do something in it. I've got to be either one. And right
Listen,
now,
people.
I'm working with what we've got. And
Listen,
when I see
people.
Matic, I think he could do something. Surely, you know, he can
100%. And
protect the
this is why
defense.
it's not a coincidence. Like last season against
Yeah,
Southampton, when we played Matic and Donny, and against Everton, it's not a coincidence that Matic had one of his best games with an intelligent footballer right next to him, like Donny van der Beek, who knew what Matic can and can't do,
yeah,
knows how to support him and knows when not to leave him, able to play the short balls with him and then move the ball along quickly. It's not a coincidence when Matic has someone around him who knows how to actually play that role, he does well. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's not a coincidence. And in the minute you get Matic with
Uh,
a next down, it's peak.
yeah. Next manager will move these players, bro. But this guy's got the 4-year contract, Devil. This is a guy that you back, and I know you back him. You know what I mean? But for me, yeah, Danny's I think he's Ollie in. You know what I mean? But for me, this is the manager who people have given a 4-year contract to. So when does a penny drop for people? When does a penny drop say these decisions are gonna be accounted for on the pitch? You know, these decisions that he's making, you know, is sometimes you don't have to support everything that someone does, you know, in terms of, you know, you might back a manager, but now I'm hearing that Donny van der Beek's not good enough. You know, I mean, that's what I'm hearing right now. I'm seeing people saying that. Is Donny van der Beek really that good enough? I mean, how can you say that? How can you say that, man? That's why I don't understand. Sometimes I think football fans, you know, it gets to the point where I think a lot of people.
Who's judging? So cool. Donny van der Beek hasn't played. When we have seen him, yeah, he was knocking on world class. He wasn't world class, but he was. Yeah, he'll get sacked eventually. That's what I'm saying. But all of a sudden, because he hasn't played for Man United, and because the person made that decision is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, so now Donny's not good enough. To be honest, I don't judge any of the new signings that we got with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer there, because Ole's a problem.
Same.
You know what I mean? We've got Sancho getting coached by Bruno in his first game. We've got flipping. Who else getting coached? We got Wan-Bissaka getting coached by Varane on Varane's first game. We got players getting coached to the pitch by other players, bro.
Yeah, and he's the one that gave the contract section exactly, Paul. Ellie. You know what I mean? This is why I just don't understand it, man. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, yeah, if we're saying, you know, certain people are not good enough and certain players are not this and that. I mean, there was this is a lot of, on this regime, there's been a lot of contracts. There's been a lot of decision making. That's a key one for me. Decision making by the coaching staff and everyone involved. This was decision making by him. So I don't understand this whole thing right now. You know, you taking a player that played well on the left-hand side, that got 5 assists, and now, you know what I mean? It's almost a case of, you know what? Right, we'll put him back in midfield now. You know what I mean? If something's working good for you, Moosa, why change it? You know, what's your saying?
Now, Ollie's lost the plot. My thing is this, and the only thing I think what will push me over the edge if Ollie rushes McTominay back from fitness rather than playing Donny van der Beek. That's gonna push me right over the edge. If he rushes McTominay back,
but you don't see the picture though. You don't see the picture. McTominay's training.
McTominay's training. So if he rushes him back over playing Donny, I'm done. I'm done. I got nothing to say about Ollie. I'm just gonna wait for him to get sacked.
I think for me, you know what I mean. Like when we look at the debate right now, and we assess everything, you know, what I mean, we look at it, we think Donny for me doesn't have a future in this team, and then you haven't got a great midfield that has a lot of balance in there. You know what I mean? And but then again, why should my judgment cloud? You know what I mean? Why should my judgment be clouded the fact that a manager should base his decision? As a fan, I back my team. I back the strikers we've got. I back everything we've got. But why should it be a hindrance to say, but we haven't got that midfield balance. We haven't got that midfield. When in reality,
you know what's shocking though?
The players are there. The players are there.
You know what's shocking though? Yeah. You know what's shocking? And I know that Ollie's got no system of play. I'm sorry to say this all the time, but I go back to Pep and I go back to Klopp. I've seen them play the craziest mix in the middle of the park. Like I've seen Klopp play my man, the Switzerland guy that just left. What's his name? Shaqiri. Shaqiri. I've seen him play Shaqiri, Ronaldo, and someone else in the middle of the park. And I'm thinking, what's Shaqiri doing in the middle of the park, bro?
I know.
And you know what? They go and turn people over with their system of play. Like,
I know.
Ollie refuses to play the ballers. Ollie's system always has to have Fred or McTominay in it.
Yeah, he always has to. Bro. Yeah, and I think it will be. I think for me now it will be Pogba and Fred, and then Pogba and McTominay switched around. That's what it will be. I think that will be the kind of midfield options. I think Matic will play Champions League maybe here and there, Carabao Cup. That's the only way I can see Matic playing. I'll be honest with you. It's a difficult one, man. The midfield is stacked, but not with the quality that we want. And it's almost as if there's too many guys that have been like, you know, when you invite too many people into the house, you've almost invited too many people into the house now, and you can't kick them out. You can't, there's not a valid reason to kick them out.
It's so sad. It seems like our midfielders have to get injured for Donny to play.
Well, there you go. And he thought we don't wish injuries on players, but when
that's
you look
what I'm
at
saying.
McTominay, that was a perfect moment. But he played an injured McTominay who was carrying an injury, by the way. He played him, and the next thing you know, but by the time the international break is over, McTominay's found out about this Donny interview and rushed back into the pictures. And now he's probably going to be in contention of playing. That's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. You can't, honestly, the look of Donny has been mysterious, man. I don't think I've ever seen this, bro. Have you seen this ever before? Like a player that...
No, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. And I think I can't see the likes of Ronnie anyway, Ronaldo and them man there. I just can't see it. I think Ronaldo is at the end of his career. He's going to talk more than others would talk. And I think people are going to make sly comments like, right, Donny, how come you don't play like, you know, sly comments like, how come Donny didn't come on? Like, why wouldn't the, like, I think they'll be made. Ollie's going to get, you know what Ollie's going to do? Ollie's going to get himself undermined by this squad. He's going to get himself undermined.
I think what will happen now is the decision making now will be critical, because I think top coaches can make that decisions. Like top coaches like Tuchel will play Alonso instead of thinking about a 50 million Chilwell, but make it right. Alonso is doing the bits on that left hand side. You know what I mean? He's on form. You know what I mean? He's doing well. He can do that. He can afford to do that, because at the end of the day, what their system and the way they play, it doesn't matter what personnel comes in.
He's keeping people like, even I see Lingard for England, I think, why did my man stay at United for? Where is he playing?
He's doing Ronaldo celebrations, buddy. You don't see the Ronaldo celebrations, buddy.
Yeah, fanboy. He's nuts, man. Football's gone mad.
Lingard, man. Yeah, football's gone mad, man. You'd rather play with your fanboy, innit? That's the thing.
Yeah, fanboy.
He's rejecting a contract, though. He's rejecting a contract, which for me, it don't make sense. If you're rejecting a contract, but you've been offered to kind of go somewhere else.
How old is Jesse?
28.
He's on his last. No, that's not bad. So next year he goes on a free.
29 in December. He's 29 in December. He might as well. But the way he plays, though, he can play until he's 33, 34, man. Now he goes on a free. So he does 1 year with Ronaldo, and he walks on a free into any club that he wants on good wages. It's not bad. Yeah.
It's not bad.
I'm telling you, man.
It's not bad.
Yeah. Lingard didn't get enough game time straight. But you know, it is for me with Lingard, it just doesn't make sense at all. I mean, you've been allowed to leave, but again, he wants to play. It's like Dalot. Dalot's like, nah, man. Again, you know what I mean? I might outlast the manager, so I want to play with the big boys. You get me?
Yeah.
Like
as much as I love Wan-Bissaka, but a certain manager will play Dalot over Bissaka, you know? Because Dalot's not dead food like that. Certain managers will play Dalot over Wan-Bissaka, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
that's what I'm trying to say.
I see where he's coming from.
It's a funny one, man. It's a funny one, people, man. You know, I'm trying to say, I don't understand it, man. You get me? Saeed, say sweet. You feel me, man? That's what it is, man. You know what's there, man.
Ronaldo,
people, we're going to wrap it up there, man. Hours flying by, you get me? It's flew by, sorry. You know what I'm saying? To big up for Moosa for coming in straight from Birmingham. You feel me?
Problem,
you shouting over there, man. Get something to eat. You feel me? Relax.
You know what time it is.
Come on, bro. But people, man, we're back tomorrow with a tactical talk. We're probably going to analyze Donny van der Beek, seeing as we're talking about Van der Beek at the minute. So make sure you check that out. That'll be on Twitch tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So make sure you guys are tuned in. Twitch 8 o'clock for the tactical show. And then, obviously, Mag Talk on Thursday and then Friday. We're back with a preview, the big one, man. Ronaldo's debut. Hopefully, we can talk about that, people. But make sure you guys smash a like on the video. Yeah, as well, tomorrow, 6 o'clock with Rance. Yeah, that's as well tomorrow. But, people, make sure you smash a like on the video on your way out, people, man. You know what I'm saying? Help the albums and whatnot. Big up, man. Lovely chat with everyone in here, man. You get me? We made it. We made it on a Tuesday evening. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. Maybe we can switch to Tuesday evening, because the numbers were a lot of people were here today. So big up everybody who's tuned in. And yeah, man, people, Moosa's out there, but we'll be back next time. Same time, people. Take care. Bye-bye. Peace.